I'm Leslea Wahl. Welcome to our Faith Through Fiction Christmas special. Fellow Catholic Teen Books author T.M. Gaouette and I have enjoyed sharing edifying novels with you throughout the year. Our final episode of 2019 will focus on Catholic Teen Books' newest anthology, Gifts, Visible and Invisible. Isn't it just such a beautiful book? And it is filled with beautiful stories as well that are all Christmas themed. The deeper meaning of what Christmas is all about is what all the authors strove to instill in each of the stories represented. We'd love to share a little bit more about each of these wonderful stories. So let's get started. First on the list is Susan Peek's story called The Outlaw's Friend. Setting out in a raging blizzard with nothing but an outlaw's trunk and a heart clenched with dread, Barney leaves the warmth of his family for the cold unknown. Will he find the courage to obey the command? This short story is about the willingness to sacrifice oneself in union with Jesus, to earn graces for the conversion of sinners, and how sometimes what God asks us isn't at all what we want to do. But if we obey, He will give us tremendous peace and blessings, which ultimately could lead to true sainthood. Susan brings her signature style to the story about a modern-day saint in the making. The second story is Katy Huth Jones, In the Steps of a Saint. What could an ancient Christmas carol possibly have to do with Andrew's life? He's about to find out. This story addresses using your gifts and talents, the ones you know you have, as well as ones you haven't yet developed. There is a really cool connection between this short story and Katy's YA novel, Treachery in Truth, which is about a real-life Czech duke which inspired the Christmas carol Good King Wenceslas. The main character of the short story is a teenage boy, also of Czech descent, who finally understands the message of this beloved Christmas carol by following in the saint's steps. So the third story in the book is called A Perfect Christmas by Carolyn Astfalk. No tree, no cookies, no gifts, not a single flake of snow. With 6 siblings, Dad stranded and Mom overwhelmed, will Christmas come at all to Marigold's topsy-turvy home? The essence of this story, A Perfect Christmas, is that Jesus doesn't come in spite of our imperfection, but because of it. Carolyn Astfalk highlights this through her relatable story about a family Christmas filled with sickness, external stresses like work and travel, accidents, disappointments, and all the ways an imagined ideal Christmas cannot contend with a real-life Christmas. Even when it may look perfect from the outside, it seldom is. If you love this story, which I did, you'll be excited to know that this introduces characters in a forthcoming novel. So I'm going to jump now to the 5th story in Gifts anthology because it's mine. It's called Christmas Angel. Meg's unforgettable Advent journey begins with 4 simple words that challenge her idea of a perfect Christmas. I had such a fun time writing this story, and the idea behind it came from a true event that a friend told me about. So through the story, I explore the idea of how to focus on the real meaning of Christmas. It's often easy to get caught up in the fun of the season, focusing more on the secular activities and traditions. While these can be fun and create wonderful family memories, how can we keep focus on our Lord and keep Christ in Christmas? Well, that is half of the stories. Now here's TM to tell us about the rest of the wonderful stories in Gifts, Visible and Invisible. TM?
Hey, Leslea. Thank you. Hi guys, I'm TM Gaouette, and I'm going to continue on with the remaining stories and gifts with a quick jump back to the fourth story, and it's Operation Gift Drop by Theresa Linden. Let's see. In a dystopian future, Balkan wants to prove his skills as a rescuer, but this is a crazy mission. Deliver gifts to Aldonians by stealth and at risk of capture. This Christmas story is connected to Theresa Linden's Chasing Liberty books and actually takes place before the trilogy begins. One important Christmas message that stands out in Operation Gift Drop is the great sacrifice and humility of God when he took on human form and became a little baby. The Christmas traditions of the underground community, the risk, sacrifice, and giving, play an important role in helping them to grasp these truths. Cynthia T. Toney's Christmas story is next. It's Signs of Christmas, and it's the sixth story. Christmas without her friend Sal isn't the same, but Antonina finds a new friend whose circumstances have her rethinking the value of a gift. Cynthia's story revisits some of the characters from her award-winning novel, The Other Side of Freedom, and if you're a fan of that novel, you're sure to enjoy Signs of Christmas. This historical fiction story is set during the 1920s in the Deep South, and while preparing for Christmas, Antonina becomes aware of the stark differences between her own desires and the needs of others. This story shows how Antonina learns that her own will, though well-intended, may not always coincide with God's will, and that she must learn to trust the outcome. My story, Just Jesus, is next. Christmas had always made sense to Vanessa until her Yuletide festivities are called into question by a new kid named Luke and a mysterious wood carving. Now, the crux of this story is in the line, but if I wasn't baking Christmas cookies for his glory, then what was the point? You see, the biggest message in this story is that in the hustle and bustle and commercialism that usually saturates Christmas, don't forget why we're celebrating in the first place. This is reflected not only in Vanessa's many traditions when it comes to celebrating Christmas, but also in the way she views Luke and what she sees as his lack of Christmas cheer. Now, this is a standalone story that isn't connected to any of my current novels, but who's to say it won't be the basis of a future story? We'll see. The eighth and last story in the Gifts, Visible and Invisible anthology is A Very Jurassic Christmas Eve by Corinna Turner. Joshua's perfect Christmas Eve is upended by the plight of a starving Mama Dino and her babies. Meanwhile, Daryl and her family risk their lives for a holiday guest in the perilous, raptor-infested mountains. This story is connected to Turner's Unsparked series, so readers get to hang with Joshua and Daryl in this Christmas special, and in it there are three main messages. One, a call to compassion and generosity in self-giving, even to the most unlikely recipient, especially important at Christmas. The second message is the reminder that God's biggest gift to us isn't our possessions, but the people in our lives. And finally, a little reminder at the end to let nothing distract us from the real Christmas. Christmas is such a wonderful time of year. We all look forward to the music, decorations, presents, family get-togethers, and the festive traditions. And as Catholics, we all understand that Christmas is a celebration of Jesus' birthday. But sometimes we need a little reminder to remain focused on that truth. And Gifts, Visible and Invisible, is a fantastic reminder of what, and especially who, Christmas is all about. And as with Secrets, Visible and Invisible, young readers get a sampling of the writing styles of various authors, in this case, 8. They're fun, festive, and faith-filled stories in different genres: contemporary, historical, dystopian. This really is a great gift for all teens. And in the words of Kathy Gilmore, founder of VirtueWorks Media and the author of our foreword, by the way, The bonus you receive is that in gifts, visible and invisible, you get all that wrapped up in a great Christmas vibe that you can climb back into any time. And that's it. Thanks for joining us for Faith Through Fiction and our Christmas special. And until next time, check out more of our exciting, edifying titles on Catholic Teen Books. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and sign up for our monthly newsletter. From me, TM Gaouette, and fellow Catholic Teen Books author Leslea Wahl, happy Advent and Merry Christmas!